Hey guys, Todd Howard here, and I just wanted to remind you, have you rebought another copy of Skyrim on another platform yet in 2019? Because if not, you are literally stealing from Bethesda. You need to go do that immediately. And while you go do that, I guess I'll go over some M20 spoilers. Because I certainly don't have any information to give you about ES6. So let's talk about the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers, or PPs for short. First up, we've got the last thing that the world ever needed, another copy of Vivien. She's a 3 loyalty for 6. Honk honk, I'm backing the truck up directly into Value Town. But worry not, that 3 loyalty won't be 3 for long because she has a +1. Put 3 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature. That is insane. -1, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Honestly, better than any kind of pop-up 3, 4, 5 and grab 1 creature. This is like, no, you're gonna hit a creature. Then her -6 is a true ult. It's a target creature gets +10/+10 against trample until end of turn, and then your opponent kills it. Kill spell, bye-bye, reset the counter. So the reason she is so unbelievably killable with that super low loyalty is because she just +3/+3 one of her bodyguards. Makes sense to me. I mean, this would be absurdly overpowered if she cost 4, but thankfully she cost 6. And, that's how Planeswalker decks have worked for the last little bit. And next up, we've got the 4th Chandra in this set because, of course, we have now reached maximum Chandratude. She is a 6 cost, of course, 4 loyalty, of course. And +1 deals 2 damage to any target. I mean, okay, that'll get annoying while she's going up and your life total is going down, but, nothing too spectacular. -2, she deals 4 damage to target creature only, and then 2 damage to that creature's controller. So, okay, removal plus the first effect, but for -2. And she could do that back-to-back, which would be kind of annoying. Not a very good value for 6 overall, though. And then her -8, which is fairly hard to get to, she deals 10 damage to target player, ouch, and each creature that player controls. So not an absolute death sentence, but it's basically an asymmetric board wipe with a huge smack to the face. So, I mean, that'll do something to progress the game, that's for sure. But, yeah, you're a couple ticks away from that when you drop her in. So, pretty much the most boring vanilla blah Chandra ever. And by the way, this is 294 out of 280. So, we're going to see, well, there's 5 decks. So, a bunch of, specific, like deck-specific, Planeswalker-specific cards on top of this. And if I recall, the buy a box promo was 1 over the count as well. I think it's that crappy 3-color angel. But to back up a little bit, Vivien was 298 out of 280. So where are they getting 18 cards? We got, the buy a box promo, which is 1. Then we've got the 5 Planeswalkers, so that's 6. And then we usually have 1 Planeswalker-specific, fetch card, so that's another 5. And then we usually have the Planeswalker synergy card, so that's 5 more. So that's 16. Where are the other 4? What are the other 4? That is interesting. They could have crammed them into the Planeswalker decks, but that's not a nice even number. I suspect we're going to see another gift pack, because I do believe the last one was M19. So if they do another gift pack, I mean, it's kind of not Christmas. That would explain where the other 4 are. Kind of weird, non-chronological way to number them, though. But yeah, if that doesn't solve the mystery, it'll be really interesting to see what those cards are and where they are. And maybe the mystery's already solved and I just don't know about it. That's actually pretty likely, too. So next up, we've got Sorin, Vampire Lord. That is really not great looking artwork. Doesn't even look like him, to be honest. 6 cost, 4 loyalty, seems to be a bit of a theme. Then you can +1 him, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+0 till end of turn. That's terrible. No lifelink, death touch, vampire bonus, conditional bonus, nothing. And then -2, he deals 4 damage to any target you gain 4 life. Whoopity flippin' do. And then -8 until end of each turn. Each vampire you control gain control of target creature. Holy crap. Hey guys, what's missing from that ability? Oh yeah, until end of turn. So yeah, that's just you win the game. You win the game, the end. The game's over. This is the first standard grade in Planeswalker I've seen, but you'd almost need some proliferate to prop this up. But if you're going to play high stuff, high ramp, high black, high swamp count, you're probably going to go Golgari anyway, so then you can ramp into this guy, play some green proliferate. I think there might be a couple black proliferates. Could be wrong about that. And, just boost them up to that 8 real quick, and kaboom. The problem is you'd have to have enough vampires to almost guarantee that you have 1 or 2 outs, so that you can consistently every turn steal everything they have, or a good portion, enough of a portion that you're good. So it's a long shot, but if I was playing that deck, I'd probably drop 1 or 2 in if it was vampire heavy enough. So it's a lot of ifs, but this is the first standard grade one we've seen. But then again, Ajani's still coming, and I haven't read it yet, but Ajani's usually really good. If the word gain life is anywhere on the card, I'm playing it. It's that simple. So next up, though, we got Mu Yan Ling, Celestial Wind. Oh, girl, you gotta tell me where you got that weave. That shit's fire. If anybody knows where she got that mad-ass weave, leave it in the comment section. I already regret saying that. I'm sure I'm gonna get everything from the hood to right next to the Wizard of Oz's castle. You got the Wizard of Weaves, the Weaves of Oz. Gee, I think she cracked open the never-ending story and got teleported into that ville and then found the weave shop. That only makes sense if you've seen the movie. Oh, Des, don't you know? NASA designed that thing. Anyway, she is a 5 loyalty for 6. That's not bad. Kind of indicates she's probably weak. Let's see. +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature gets -5 attack. I mean, we already got a 3-cost Dovin or some cost Dovin. I don't remember that. Just completely blocks all damage. But I mean, 5 is probably all damage or dang close to it. So, you know, a little bodyguard ability that's +1. That's cool. And then -3, return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. That's not bad. So actually kind of 2 bodyguard abilities. And then -7, creatures you control with flying get +5/+5 till end of turn. So that's probably a mostly all flying deck. I think like the stall and then that ult might maybe put one or two of her in an all flying standard constructed deck, but I don't know, 6 is up there. You might as well just throw in some like tank Sphinx or some massive angel. I feel like you just win the game faster and get more mileage out of something like that. Depends on the circumstances though. If you're running enough removal in that deck, you don't need this. And finalmente está el gato blanco that everybody's been waiting for. It's Ajani, inspiring leader. Goal! He looks like he'd play soccer. Or maybe like lacrosse based on the artwork. So he is a 6-cost, double white, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. He has a +2 because +1s are for pansy-ass little bitches. You gain 2 life. There you go. Done. I'm putting him in my deck. I don't even need to read the rest. Who cares? But just for your sake, put 2 1/1 counters at up to 1 target creature. What did you just say? This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Your Ajani's Pridemate just gained 3 counters. -3, exile target creature, no restriction whatsoever. Its controller gains 2 life. Who cares? They can have it. I'm about to beat them in the face with a different cat. It doesn't matter. 1 cat heals and 1 cat claws them. It doesn't matter. -10. Creatures you control gain flying and double strike till end of turn. The game is over. The end. Go home. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Holy shit. We have got a $10 Ajani here, and I happen to note the Planeswalkers are $8.88 cost. Oh wait, no, these are lower because they had a MSRP of $10.99. I don't know if they're doing that again. They should, because a lot of people kind of like want them all, or maybe they want the front card. So instead of $14.99, they did $10.99 last time. I haven't heard word on that, but assuming they do it again, that'll probably honestly drive his price down to $7-8. But this guy is crazy. I mean, that other Ajani from the other deck, that thing hit $8, $8.50 at one point. Yeah. Now, he was a 5-cost, and they considered that kind of high. The mono-white life gain deck has absolutely 0 ramp whatsoever. I don't think people are going to need more than 1 of these, but look at the supply of these when it's split 5 ways in a side product compared to the amount of Ajanis that would be in the main set. I'd hate to even venture a guess on the supply compared to like a standard print of a single, but I mean 10 to 20 times lower, I would guess. Don't know for sure. I mean, I know how those booster displays are bought. For every Ajani one, you got to get one that nobody wants, so not a lot of people are going to be opening these. I would recommend that if your store sells them apart, that you go pick up multiple of this one just to have it for constructed or for trade, because this is going to be hot. I mean, remember, they're cranking up the life gain, so you have more time to get up more mana. You're not increasing the ramp, but you are increasing the amount of time that you can live for, the amount of turns you can live for. In theory. So yeah, this card is insane. I love it. But, I mean, don't get it twisted. For 6 mana, it's very appropriate. So moving on from the Planeswalker cards, we've got Goblin Smuggler. A bit of a dual meaning there. He's a goblin that's smuggling, and also he's smuggling goblins. Ha ha ha, puns and crap. So he's 2/2 for 3. Not really what you're looking for right off the bat with a Goblin Tribal, because you just want to blow their head off in like turn 4. But does have haste, okay. And then it can tap, and it can do that the turn it comes out. Another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Not really worth it. I mean, if your goblins run into a wall, cool. You might want to keep this in your sideboard, but a 2/2 for 3 is just not what you're looking for. It just isn't. And power 2 or less ain't going to win the game. It just isn't. Next up, Lavakin Brawler. Really cool artwork there. Do she got a booty? She do! And it's thick. And it's probably a couple 100 degrees. And she looked like with those arms, she could slap all the stupid off you. So don't mess with this 2/4 for 4. It's an elemental warrior. Nice. Elemental. Cool. And whenever Lavakin Brawler attacks, it gets +1 until end of turn for each elemental you control, because we didn't have enough elemental synergy already. Boy, we're halfway through the spoilers, and it already looks like mono red elementals is going to be one of those f***ed up decks I've ever seen in my life. So next up, Leafkin Druid. It's a 0/3 for 2, and you can tap it and add 1 green. Very nice. And then if you control 4 more creatures, add 2 instead. Fantastic. I love this. I love mana generating creatures that cost either 1 or 2, and I love it when they make them highly defensive, especially when they zero out the attack so that they're only useful for mana, so that people don't start, just swinging away with them because you're land screwed. It's always annoying and embarrassing to get hit by an Elvish Mystic, and then I love ones that get bigger over time or are conditionally tapping for more than 1, so very nice. And then they have that other thing that says green creatures that tap for green make an extra green or whatever. Works perfectly with this. Absolutely fantastic. I love it, and it's in the common slot. Absolutely great. Next up, Thicket Crasher. Oh, he's thick, all right. 4/3 for 4, and it's an elemental rhino. It has trample, and other elementals you control have trample. Okay, so elementals are just slivers now. Cool. F you too. Next up, winged words, or perhaps winged. I think the adjective form has a different pronunciation. Anyway, it's a 3-cost blue sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast. If you control a creature with flying, draw 2 cards. So just another flying-specific card. The way it's numbered, I don't think it's Planeswalker deck specific either. Some of these might be from the Planeswalker deck. I'm forgetting to check, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's still standard legal. So then we got Frostlinks, big ol' reprint here. Not that many people played this. I didn't even put this in my Gravity Bomb deck. And literally the entire deck was nothing but tap effects, so this isn't very good. It's a 2/2 for 3. Elemental, though. Hey, Elemental Cat. And when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls. The creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I could not have a single tap effect that was durable that costs 3 that was on that weak of a creature. Just couldn't do it. Didn't make the cut. That said, in like an Is It Elemental deck, you are going to blow somebody's head off with this, so we'll see. Next up, Boneclad Necromancer. Well, he's going for that high 5, but I don't think he's going to get there. It's a 3/3 for 5, and Human Wizard. Whenever Boneclad Necromancer enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature card from a graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Fantastic for anti-phoenixing. That's a thing. In other words, shutting down stupid Is It Phoenixes. Either of them, come to think of it. It's just a modular 5/5. I mean, there's nothing real special about this, to be honest. So, next up, Blood Burglar. It's 2/2 for 2, and it's Vampire Rogue. As long as it's your turn, it has lifelink. You guys know I'm a big fan of taking some common ability and just watering it down to half power. Like having Wither instead of effect, or having like a semi-trample where only some of it goes past. So yeah, this is conditional half lifelink. I like it. Next up, Squad Captain. It's a 2/2 for 5 with Vigilance, and Squad Captain enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each other creature you control. Ooh, they're really trying to bring back Selesnya Swarm. Should be interesting. I think people will play it, but I also think they're going to get shredded by board wipes. Next up, Aerial Assault. It's a 3-cost sorcery in white. Destroy target tapped creature. You gain 1 life for each creature you control with flying. Okay, I mean, I'd run that in a flying deck. That's not bad. Next up, Reiter der Dornen. It's probably Reiter, actually. Whatever, the German language and the German people suck. That's a joke, because I'm half German. So this is allegedly Cavalier of Thorns. It's a mythic, triple green. Sounds familiar. This is, of course, part of the Chevy Cavalier cycle. So this guy is an elemental, by the way. That's huge, elemental knight. And he has reach right off the bat. And he's 5/6, which is pretty darn good for 5 mana. And then when he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest in your graveyard, and when Cavalier of Thorn dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another card from your graveyard on top of your library. No restriction on type. I mean, as far as big fatties go, he's like a maybe 5 out of 10 attacker, but on defense, I mean, he's got reach and he's big. So there's no trample and his attack power equals his casting cost, but I don't know. I'd probably throw like 1 or 2 in. It's a good effect. Next up, Shared Summons, allegedly. This is a 5-cost green instant. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards with different names. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Wow, an unrestricted fetch. Doesn't have to be a green creature. Doesn't have to be a certain mana cost or less. That is pretty messed up, but it costs 5. So I don't think this is about to break Modern. For 3, oh my gosh, yes. Also, it is double green. That does pump the brakes a little bit on putting this in just anything. I think in like a green ramp up and run you over type of deck, yeah, I'd probably run 1 or 2 of these. I mean, to go fetch like Gulta or Goreclaw, oh yeah. Yeah. Next up, oh, it's the favorite Russian card, Cheeky Breaky. I may have mistranslated that and it actually says Cheeky Thief, but guess what? I'm going to call it Cheeky Breaky from now on. So anyway, this is a 3-cost human rogue 2/2, and whenever he attacks, draw a card and lose 1 life. That is absolutely f***ing crazy for a common. But he's a 2/2, so you're going to attack with him exactly 1 time. I will say, though, if you can keep everything off your opponent's board, he could just swing away and keep feeding you kill cards. So, yeah, that's insane. In a black-white ambush deck that's also life gain and lifelink heavy, ooh, this would be nuts. Because you could just boost him, ambush boost, just drop white booster spells on him every time he swings. And then keep refilling. This is one of the most important cards I've seen in M20 so far. This is crazy. Next up, Evolving Wilds. Oh boy. And following it up with Murder. Yay. And finally, Cloudkin Seer. It's a 2/1 flyer for 3, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. I mean, in tribal synergy, or flying synergy, non-tribal, I should say, keyword synergy, this wouldn't be too bad because it'll probably hit for 3 by the time one of the 2 of the spells boosted. Oh, 3 now, actually, there are. There's at least 3 flying boosters. Or no, what? No, one you have to name a tribal. So you can't name flying. So there's only 2. I don't know, who cares? I don't think anybody's really going to play that, to be honest. Next up, Tomebound Lich. It's a 1/3 for 3. That artwork is freaking amazing. And it has Death Touch and Lifelink. I love that combo, although it is only a 1/3. And when he enters battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. And that is mandatory. And you know why it's mandatory? Fun fact, it's because they didn't reverse the order on that where it says discard a card, then draw a card, which would be really bad. So if you effectively don't want to do that, you can just draw a card and throw it straight into the graveyard. Hopefully it wasn't a good card, but if it was, keep it. And then if your hand's empty, just, oh well. It's certainly an interesting card, highly defensive. And next up we have the biggest surprise out of the spoilers for today, Thornwood Falls, and, well, its friends. We are getting the full freaking cycle of lifelands. They enter tapped, you gain 1 life. Back around, I want to say M15, when Ajani's Primate was legal, and what was the other one? Sunbond. I built an all-life gain deck with Radiant Fountain too, that's fun, and it had all of these. Well, all of the ones that had white color in them. And then I know that as many as I could get, because I could only run 4 of, had white in them, but some of them didn't, and then, like I said, Radiant Fountain on top of it, or whatever the name of that land was that grants 2 life. So every single land in the deck, mostly white, were running my mono white deck. Everybody thought that I was going to unleash some multicolored hell on them, but really, it was just gain life in unbelievable amounts. I think it even had Dazzling Reflection. Oh my gosh, that deck was insane. I don't think I lost a single game with it. I mean, the triggers were just nuts. I would just drop it into Johnny's Primate, and the next turn it would be 10-10. You basically had 1 turn to get rid of it, or you would just die. I mean, that thing was crazy. There was even like some kind of lifelink aura that granted vigilance too, I think. Oh my gosh. So I would recommend that people play white-black and put in a buttload of these lands. Hell, you could run mono white and do it. I mean, weaponized life gain is probably going to be the #1 deck after rotation. I think it might even play around Esper Control if you can either mainboard or sideboard in a Graveyard Recycler. It's going to be a 2-hour game, but you're going to win in the end. You'd almost need some hexproof, though, and I can't name anything in white or black that's hexproof. So, that will be a long game, but whatever. That's Esper Control for you, and Wizards refuses to do anything about it. Nope, Search Fighters can't, and no, clearly not problematic. Chemisters, Teferi, oh, wonderful cards. Very fair. Very well liked by the community. Whatever, standard. So next up, Blood for Bones. Interesting sounding card. It's a sorcery, 4 cost, black, and as an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature. Yeah, because we needed more aristocrats, thanks. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You've got to be kidding me. Now it doesn't even have to be Reassembling Skeleton. You can do this with just some Death Touch 1/1. Then return another creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Wow, Death Triggers Incarnate. This is taking that deck way too far, and that deck kicks the crap out of just about everything right now. That is worrying. Okay, next up, Moat Piranhas. 3/3 for 2. Holy crap, as I said earlier this week, you don't see that, but like I said, you don't see the attack power higher than the mana cost without a catch. The catch is this has Defender and it can't actually attack, which is a bit of a catch. I gotta say, though, this is basically a blue wall with some teeth. You knew I was going there. You knew it. I love this card. This card will absolutely kick the crap out of people at the pre-release. Next up, we've got Sephara, Sky's Blade. Let me guess, I'm probably pronouncing Blade wrong, too, because I'm from Wisconsin. Deal with it, assholes. So anyway, this is a legendary creature, Angel, 7 cost, triple white. That's pretty harsh. 7/7, though, flying and lifelink. That ain't no joke. And guess what? You may pay white and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Oh, and if you thought that was the end of it, nope. Other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. So this is the Avengers endgame of the All Flyers deck. I mean, this basically costs like Convoke 5, I guess you would say, or it depends how you look at it, in an All Flyers deck, which is very, very, very reasonable. And yeah, I would purposely lose my entire turn to drop this in. I mean, it itself doesn't have Indestructible. That's usually how they print these. They have done a lot of cards like this in the past, that you gotta have some way to remove this. It's actually very similar to Shalai, which, by the way, would be insane to put in the same deck as this. Oh, and Shalai is like the queen of the Selesnya Flood deck, so yeah, she about to go up some dollars. Might want to pick up a couple copies of her. Shalai Voice of Plenty is $3.50 now. You can get them a little bit cheaper on Card Shark and eBay, but I bet we're about to see 10 on her. So anyway, I mean, yeah, this card's crazy. This is absolutely crazy in an All Flyers deck. Absolutely just nuts. I mean, you got the damage in the air, you got the nothing else can get destroyed, anti-board wipe. I mean, you've basically won the game once you get her out. So yeah, automatic 4 of in an All Flyers deck. Pretty much mandatory in an All Angels deck too. So next up we got Noxious Grasp. It's a 2-cost instant in black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white. You gain 1 life. In other words, it's worthless. Worthless, useless, narrow sideboard crap. Next up we got Kethis, the Hidden Hand. This is a 3-cost, triple color, waste of a mythic slot. It's an elf advisor because everybody hates elves. 3/4 legendary spells you cast costs 1 less to cast, which works just wonderfully when Dominaria cycles out. And exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn. Each legendary card in your graveyard gains, you may play this card from your graveyard. So I guess in an all legendary deck this would be okay. But like I said, we're about to lose Dominaria 3 months after this drops, so nobody's going to build anything with this, and it's triple color. This is pretty stupid, but hey, somebody build a Blackblade deck with this. It would be just absolutely memorific. Y próxima tenemos Y solamente eterno, which of course translates to old guy stuck in a mountain. This is a 2-cost white sorcery, uncommon, which is always good, and put target creature with power 4 or greater on the bottom of its owner's library. Oh, I love that. If you missed it, one of the recent sets actually had a plummet, except that you put the flying creature on the bottom of an owner's library, but it's the same cost, so it's literally an improved plummet. So if any of your decks run plummet, run that card, and also I absolutely love this card. This is one where like I'd be happy to put it in sideboard, not, oh wow, this isn't good enough to mainboard. It's like, no, you're running big stuff, I'm going to blow it up for 2. Bye-bye. The fact that this gets rid of a Rekindling Phoenix makes me very happy. And the flavor text is, well, at least the view is nice. Oh wow, I just realized this is Portuguese. I wondered why I didn't know a whole bunch of those words. So tomorrow's video is going to be uploaded really super late because I'm working most of the day on an offsite project. But it will show up eventually and it will have all of the day's spoilers. I think some are scheduled that day. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and I will see you guys next video.